Are you struggling to get social working for you? Well, probably like a lot of other people, right? I mean, it's a challenge. There's a lot going on. So let's talk about everything you need to know about getting social to work for you better in 5 minutes. So maybe 5 minutes, close. We're going to go over some quick ideas and what you might be doing. So some things might be happening to you, right? Like you can't figure out what you want to be posting. You don't know how often you need to post. Or the things that you're putting out there aren't really, attracting the right people or enough people. So you're kind of saying like, it's not working. I feel like I'm doing everything and it's not working, right? That might be probably what you're hearing. Well, you have to look at the basics of what's going on, right? You have to look at the person that you are trying to reach because you've got this person out there, way out there, doing something else, and you want to get their attention to have a conversation with them about the things you're doing and to get them to buy from you. So you're trying to lay out these breadcrumbs and get somebody to respond. And that's not the easiest thing to stop somebody in the middle of whatever they're doing in this crowded and busy and really active and loud space, right? So that's basically the pattern of what you want to have happen. So what do people usually tell you to do? Well, post everywhere so you can catch everybody, in all these places. Or another overused tactic is, just posting every single day. So, if you just post enough and post often enough, people are going to come find you. Well, I mean, clearly, if you've been doing any of that, you know that that's not really the answer either, right? Chasing these tactics is just not really going to be where it is. There are just too many pieces that need to come together in order for this to happen so that your person will be able to follow the breadcrumbs and be able to find you when they need and want you, and that you can find them back if they don't respond immediately, right? So with all these pieces that need to come together, it's not just a matter of, posting and, reposting things. So you can't just figure out how to, Google a quick question here. You really got to get down to the marketing basics. And that is what I'm going to tell you through today, right? The things that are happening. So if you're not getting through to the right people, then you need to take a look at the messages that you're putting out there. The people need to be talked to in the way that they're ready to listen, in the language that they use. And, you have to be super intentional about it. So you don't just want to post like cute things or your new product or, something silly that happened to you. I mean, you have to be really intentional about your content that you're posting. It has to mean something and it has to move along a pace, right? We call it like a cadence. It has to have a pattern and it has to have a timing. So that's one big point about your actual content creation. Another point is that the content needs to be, something intriguing, something controversial, something that moves them to some sort of an action, right? Again, it can't just be flat content that you're posting out there. Here's my new thing, or did you see this today? You're capturing attention and you're actually asking them to do something. So they have to get involved in the story with you. In order to do that, which you can do from a post. I mean, we're not talking a big long story, but you do need to create very tight, clear messaging that's tested and reacts well with your ideal audience. So that's another thing, right? And the next thing is you really have to have a natural next step for them, right? The next part of your strategy, all of this is part of your strategy. You got to have what's going to happen next. Where are you leading them and what's going to happen? Now, if only 3 to 5%, are going to buy from you immediately, what are you going to do about the other, 95 to 97%? You certainly don't want to lose them if you've done your first steps with your content properly. So, are you capturing them? Are you catching them where you need to? That's the other part of it, right? And then you've got to have content that you can use in different places. So if you are doing some video content, you might want to use pieces of that to be able to intrigue them in another post. So we're calling this content repurposing, or being able to use content in the medium and the way that you need to. So are you using multiple forms of content and not just, just an image in one place? So those are the kind of things that, really make your content and your communication and your social work better for you. So we talked about how this is a lot of pieces, right? And they do need to come together. So what do you need to have in place in order to make this happen for your strategy for your own business? You need to have a site with really great copywriting and messaging. You need to have landing pages so that when they are responding to a particular really small message, that they're being greeted and met by that message on the other end. So they need something exactly matching and consistent. So do you have enough opt-ins? Do you have enough landing pages? And then do you have your email program set up so that you can do that follow-up that we talked about, right? So if they're not ready to purchase right away, are you catching them, and do you have a really strong follow-up system with your email that you're able to communicate with them afterwards? So again, this is a lot of pieces that need to come together, and totally we get that. For example, I mean, this is absolutely what I love, is this strategy of trying to figure out these pieces for you. It's a big puzzle, right? I know you're working without the box cover on this, but I'm not, right? This is what I do best. So I offer a service for evaluating your entire online presence. So if that's something that you think you're struggling with, I'd love to be able to take a look at all these pieces for you and be able to tell you whether they're coming together and where there might be some holes that you can fix and do some tweaks on your end to be able to tighten this up for you so that you're not losing any people along the way of your breadcrumb trail. If you're not sure what you might need, but you definitely want a little bit of insight, then you can grab an action plan call from me, and I'd be happy to talk to you briefly about this and give you some ideas and, at least a walking next step for you. So as a follow-up from this video today, take a look at the things that you're doing right now and definitely reach out. Reach out to me. I'm happy to look at what you're doing. I'm happy to talk to you about what you're doing. Or if you're ready to engage in something to really move your business to the next level, then talk to me about, having me evaluate or assess where you're at and set you up with a really good, clear strategy. And because you stayed to the end, I'm going to put a link down on the bottom for a little drop-in gift for you. It's a map of your customer journey to give you a little clues as to some of these pieces to see that you've got everything in place. So hopefully this helped you get a little good structure and you know what to do to make social work better for you. And look forward to talking to you again next time.